Ooh. So yeah, unquestionably a freak. Unquestionably the go-to guy if you have an itch to scratch about the past tense in Old Elamite. But truly famous? Nah. He's head of linguistics at the University of Washington now. That's the UW, by the way, if you don't want to sound like a tourist next time you're in Seattle. A bit of a wheeler-dealer and organizer of international conferences on the origin and extinction of languages. A man who's followed around campus by a flock of influence-horny junior profs and research assistants. Definitely an alpha chimp in his small patch of the academic jungle. But it'll be years yet, with his own research going nowhere before he's infected, almost accidentally, by the terrible virus called fame. We are in Heraklion, on the island of Crete, the dead center of the eastern Mediterranean. And this morning, we have one of the world's great archaeology museums all to ourselves. No tourists yet. No fat pink people dragging their sticky, whining ankle biters because on Mondays the doors don't open to the point-and-shoot crowd until noon. You would like us to make the collection available to you on Monday morning, Professor? Certainly. A pleasure. An honor and a pleasure to assist you in any way. Bow, scrape, grovel. All we have for company is a young, prematurely bald custodian in an ill-fitting khaki uniform who lurks discreetly in the farthest corner of the room. Dad shifts, rubs his ear, looks at me again. He's trying to be patient, thinks I'm a bit slow. He thinks most of the human race is a bit slow. He's waiting for my reaction to one particular object which stands upright in its U-shaped metal frame, separated from the end of my nose by an inch of bulletproof glass. Ought to say something. But hey, this is the first week of my first trip to Crete, and I'm only 10, so a reddish circle of clay that looks like a bad attempt at a salad plate can't compete with a bare-breasted goddess. And even she can't compete with the thought that maybe, when we're done here, we'll stroll down to the waterfront for ice cream. I look at him, look back at the salad plate, savor the coolness I feel as the tip of my nose brushes the glass. The sign says, Diskos tis phaistu. He's already force-fed me enough Greek for that to spell itself out, letter by letter, in my mind. Diskos tis phaistu. The Phaistos disk. It's been here for more than 100 years, Daniel. All alone, attracting crackpot theories the way a windshield attracts bugs. Why do you say alone? Because it's an orphan. Because nobody knows what it is or where it's from, and because nothing else remotely like it has ever been found. He kneels down, traces with his fingertip the swirl of little symbols on its surface. A human head with a kind of spiky headdress, a forked stick, a standing woman, an ambiguous shape that reminds me of an animal skin or a snow angel. Supposed to feel excited here. Trying. See? 30 groups of symbols on this side, 31 on the other, in a spiral, like I said. Found right here? A site on the south side of the island. The Greeks showed up here around 3,000 years ago, but before that, Crete was run by the Minoans, a whole civilization that we didn't even know existed until 1900, when a guy called Arthur Evans dug them up. Then, a few years later, an Italian archaeologist, Luigi Pernier, found this at one of their palaces. Judging from the earth layer, it's 36 centuries old. That's like as old as Tutankhamun, isn't it? Earlier. He kneels down and peers at me, assessing the effect of this knowledge. No big deal, though. Just a chunk of old pottery. No big deal. I agree helpfully, my mind on chocolate versus vanilla. Except for that damned inscription, which is nothing even remotely like Minoan. What is it, then? I'd love to answer that question. Possibly very early Greek, or some other language the Minoans used, or a form of Hittite. Hittite? The guys from central Turkey? Well done, he says smugly. The theory here is that I know about the Hittites because I've been a good boy and read his surprise archaeo-detective bestseller, The Great Vanishing. There's a copy on the